Hello friends, welcome back to another video. I'm Shani. If you're new here, welcome, and please don't forget to subscribe before you go. And to my regular watchers, thank you always. On the menu today, let's make these delicious bagels. So here in the bowl I have some warm water. I'm adding in my yeast and my sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this up and then set this aside for about 8 to 10 minutes until it foams on the top. And you guys make bread with me many times before, so you know the process. So into a bowl, I'm going to go ahead and add in some flour. I'm going to be using 5 cups of flour here, some salt and a bit of sugar. We're going to be making these delicious bagels. If you've ever tried to make your bagels at home or think it's possible, well, here you are. It is so easy and they are so tasty. So here our yeast is bloomed nicely. You see that big foam on the top. You always want that when you're blooming your yeast. So now I have my pan fitted on my mixer with the hook, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add in the yeast mixture to the flour mixture, and I'm going to be kneading this for about 5 minutes. If you're doing this by hand, you want to go ahead and do this for about 12 minutes. Get your workout on so that you can eat these bagels. So I'm gonna let this run for about 5 minutes, and after that I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. And this dough is so supple. You know how I always act already when I'm dealing with dough. It is the most satisfying feeling. It is so soft under your hands, like a pillow. All right, so get this on a work surface and just knead it just a little bit, just to form a dough. So you push it away from you and you bring it back in. You can slap it on the counter if you want. Nobody's gonna be upset. All right guys, so just go ahead and keep kneading until you get a nice smooth dough, which we are approaching here very nicely. So just keep going until you are absolutely satisfied with a nice firm roll smooth dough like this. Perfect. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get some oil into a bowl. Go ahead and place your dough in there, and we're gonna just cover this up for about 1 hour or longer, depending on how long it takes for this dough to double in size. This went for about 1 hour and 20 minutes in my home. So here we are. You just want to go ahead and punch the dough down. Do not skip this step. You want to get all that gas out. All right, so then after you've done that, go ahead and get your dough onto your work surface here, and we're going to divide this up into 8 equal pieces. Now if you wanted some mini bagels, you can get away with about 12 pieces of mini bagels for your little kiddos, or if you're watching your weight and you want to have a sizable bagel without guilt, then go for about 12 cuts here. So now we've divided up our dough, so now I'm just going to go ahead and quickly form these into a ball. So push it under itself and just put it around, get all of that dough underneath, twist it under there, and then just tuck it in. You want to make sure that this is folded tightly, because you don't want this falling apart once you start baking or boiling, which is a process that we're going to be doing. So this dough ball looks nice. So I'm just going to keep doing the rest, and let me tell you, these bagels were so good. I was so proud of myself for making them. I am never, did I say never, buying bagels again outside, because these are absolutely delicious. The only problem with these is that you're gonna have to go ahead and slice them in half and place them into your freezer, and then pop one out when you're gonna want to use it, because remember, these have no preservatives in them. So cover these up for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you know, once you've worked with your dough, you want to rest it. So after 20 minutes, just go ahead and just use your fingers in there and just form a hole there. You want to make sure you're keeping the shape. So just roll it around, keep the shape. We're not looking for square donuts here. Maybe that exists, but that's not what we're making. Push your index finger and your thumb, or your middle finger and your thumb in there, and then just keep going around, and you're gonna stretch that to form a little hole. It won't come back together, so don't fret. Next, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest. Then I'm gonna cover these up again. It's a lot of resting, but you have time when you're making bread. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing this until it's just 8 are done. Then here we are. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover this up for another 20 minutes. And after the 20 minutes, so I had to put these on some parchment that I forgot to mention. So go ahead and do that so that it's easy to pick up when you're gonna go ahead and boil them. So here on this stove, I have some boiling water, rolling boil, and I just squeeze a little bit of honey in there. You can add some baking soda. If you add the baking soda, that's gonna give you a nice crust, hard crust on the top. But I didn't want that. I want soft, chewy, fluffy bagels. So here, as soon as you drop them in the water, we're looking for about a minute for this entire process. If you go any longer, you're gonna have very chewy bagels, which is not bad too. But about a minute is good for this process. So I'm just flipping it over and just giving it another 30 seconds on that side. So my pot isn't that big, but if you have a big pot, you could probably get away with 3 of them in there. So I'm just gonna drop 2 more in here, as just 2 can fit in this pot. And I'm gonna give these a minute again, 30 seconds on one side and 30 seconds on the other side. Flip it over, 30 seconds on the other side. All right, so preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So here I have the ones that we boiled already. So now I'm just using an egg wash. All an egg wash is just 1 egg and a little bit of water just to thin it out. And I've added on some everything bagel seasoning, my favorite bagel seasoning. And then I'm just sprinkling on more on these because that's the flavor that we like at home. And then I also have some plain sesame seeds. So I'm just gonna put those on there as well, just for a little variety. But we all like the everything bagel. And then for the other 2, because we know we made 8, the other 2, I'm just gonna go ahead and brush it again with the egg wash. And I'm just gonna leave 1 plain, and then I'm just gonna sprinkle some coarse sea salt on this one. I guess they have bagel salt, but I don't have, so I have these big coarse salt, and they held up nicely in the oven. So after 25 minutes in the oven, here, look what we have, our own homemade bagels. Absolutely delicious. Trust me when I tell you, you know how I carry on about food. Trust me when I tell you that these were absolutely delicious. If you're not a baker, start baking. So guys, I really hope that you're going to go ahead and try the recipe that I'm going to leave in the description box. Watch the video over and over and over and over again until you get it. So look at this chewiness. Look. Ooh, so good. Perfection. I don't use that word lightly, but perfection. My son ate an entire bagel, the salted one, that's his favorite. And you know, it's classic to serve this with cream cheese, or I left some jam there for somebody else who's not as adventurous. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And you know, I had to take a bite because why not? Oh, so good. Bye now. Thank you.